Hi, how you doing? I am Paul, your wicked Uncle Squinty, with another, and it's about time, nasal snuff review. This snuff I am reluctant to review because you can't buy it anymore. This has been off the market for a couple of years now, and if you are lucky enough to find a tin of this, buy it. In fact, buy everything that the tobacco store or the newsstand or whoever has in stock. I'll give you a heads up right now. Mr. Snuff does not have this. Snuff Me does not have this. Snuff Store does not have this. This is a hard one to find because it is not in production. But if you live in Great Britain, who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky and stumble across a tin of this at your local newsagent or tobacconist. If you do, buy it, please, because you will like it. Full disclosure, this is my 6th attempt to do this video. I keep screwing it up, get too wordy. So I'm going to try to control my tongue on this particular video. What do we have in the tin? Well, in the tin, it smells like very dark tobacco. There is a hint of the fermentation there, no ammonia. Just a tiny bit of leather. Yeah, it's definitely leather. With just a whiff, and I mean just a little whiff of road tar, but hardly there. Yeah, leather, old leather. Imagine old Paris without the scenting. That might be close to this. It's a little darker smelling, a little richer than even the Viking Dark. It's nice. Now, the grind is, for many people, they're going to think it's a disaster. It's a very uneven grind. There are very tiny grains and very thick, large grains of snuff in this. That is intentional. That is part of the style that is Rapé, which by definition is a fermented snuff that has been made to turn black, both through fermentation and the addition of a couple of different chemicals, one or the other. Might be just a little bit of carbolic acid, might be just a little bit of calcium carbide, might be a little bit of quicklime, could be anything, but it turns the tobacco this dark, dark, dark color and brings out the leathery and the tarmac sort of notes in a dark tobacco like this. There is nothing sweet about this. There is nothing fruity about this. There's no chocolate. There's no mint, no menthol. Nothing. It's just tobacco. Now, I will warn you, because of the moisture level of this, which is somewhere between medium and high, you're going to get dirty fingers. And because of the unevenness of the grind, it is a more difficult sniff than what you might be used to. You have to sniff it just a little bit harder than you would some other snuffs. But let's take a pinch, and I'll tell you all about it. Cheers. Oh, nice burn. Very nice burn. Yeah. The burn goes away very quickly. And what you smell in the nose almost immediately is that leathery, dark tobacco scent. Just a tiny little bit, again, of that road tar, but not enough to be unpleasant at all. In fact, it really works. Mostly what you get is really rich tobacco. It's good. Now, this isn't particularly drippy. You're not going to produce a lot of mucus forward. Thank God, because if you did, you'd be, have black snot running out of your nose, and hardly anybody wants that. I know a couple of women, though, that would think that was sexy, but you wouldn't want to date them. They shave their backs. Yeah, it's potent, yo. Now, the back drip or throat drip on this is pretty profuse, but it's really, really pleasant. It's got just a little bit of salt to it, and it really works. I would say this is some of the best back drip or throat drip I've ever had from a nasal snuff. It's just delightful. How's the nicotine? Well, I can tell you, after now, I guess 6 or 7 pinches of this over the last 45 minutes, I'm feeling it. And I am not naive to nicotine. I've got a very high tolerance. But even so, I'm still going to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is no nicotine and 10 is way too much. This is going to be about a 7 for most snuff takers. For me, it's about a 6. So there is nicotine here enough to be really satisfying. It's good. The nice scents last a very long time in the nose. You'll be smelling this good tobacco and leathery sort of scent for quite a long time. I know I am. Like I said, good throat drip, pretty profuse, especially if you sniff it hard, which I did. Nothing unpleasant about it at all. So on the squinty scale, where 1 is disgusting and 5 is delicious, I'm going to give this a 5. Yes, I know I rate a lot of snuffs very highly, but this one really deserves it. 5 out of 5. Moderate to high nicotine, well worth having if you can find it. Now, what might be replacements for this? Good question. It's not exactly Viking Dark or Thor's Hammer, but there's something a little bit reminiscent of those two snuffs in this. I guess the closest to this might be the Covent Garden Black, which was made by Mullins and Westley, I believe, originally, and then, or what's the name, G. Hill. But that's not available anymore either. Maybe, and we'll try the Viking Black Rapé and see if it's as good as this is. It might be, because for a while I know that Viking was made by Samuel Gawith. Not sure if it still is. There are orders of degree of difficulty in talking to the snuff makers. Roderick at Toke, it's pretty easy. If I send him an email, he'll usually answer the email and answer my questions. Wilson's, not bad with answering questions from consumers. McChrystal's a little bit more close-lipped, tight-lipped about their processes and recipes. Then you get to Samuel Gawith, and I don't even know if they're in business anymore. Nobody will tell me. So we'll have to find out. It would be a shame, because Elmo's Reserve, that's a tough one to beat. Gawith has so many brilliant snuffs, and I would hate to see them go away. But I guess for the meantime, if you can't get your hands on a tin of this, try the Viking Black Rapé, which I will be reviewing very soon. Speaking of reviews and my schedule for doing reviews, summertime, and here in Minnesota, it's definitely summertime. Summertimes are always pretty slack for me as far as posting new content. I get busy in the summertime, as do we all. But please be patient with me. If you are not yet subscribed, please do so. If you are subscribed, be sure to hit that notification bell. Whether you are subscribed or not, please click that like button. It does help other viewers who have not yet found my channel to find my content. The more likes I have, the more likely it is that YouTube will recommend it to anyone doing searches about nasal snuff. Finally, and most importantly, I love your comments. I try to answer as many of them as I can. So please comment if you can think of a replacement for the Samuel Gawith Black Rapé, or if I've got the definition of what makes a snuff Rapé instead of just run-of-the-mill nasal snuff. Be sure to inform me. I'm still learning too. I appreciate your time, guys. I'm going to do another pitch, and then I'm going to get the flock out of here like a good shepherd. Make like a bakery truck and haul buns. From the dank basement, whiffing and sniffing, I'm Paul Schallbetter. Again, thanks for watching. Cheers. I've got snuff all over me!